Thank you for finding your places. I'm George Kilpatrick. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for coming this morning and supporting the Syracuse City School District Foundation. We also want to give a round of applause to the Henniger High School Jazz Combo for the music that they will be playing for us. Yes. We do, in fact, want to thank all of you for coming, whether you're a guest, a sponsor, a school administrator, students, and many others of you who support this very, very important event. This is the 12th year that we've come together to support the Syracuse City School District Educational Foundation, and it really warms our heart to see that so many of you have taken your time out on this busy weekend to support the mission of the foundation. We should tell you that your support has generated over $700,000 in grants, and that's because of your generosity and support. Yeah, that's worth a shout out. To get us started, we'd like to invite Pastor Nick Averser from the Greater Love in Christ Church, who will give us an invocation. Pastor Nick.
Good morning. Our Father, we are mindful this day how that Jesus called the little ones as lambs to his fold, placed his hand of blessing upon their heads, threw his arms of love around them, and gave them the kindliest look. We know something of the cravings in the heart of a child. Its innocence is a cry for purity. Its weakness is a cry for strength. Its helplessness is a cry for protection, and its heart is a great plea for love. We bless thee for the children of this district. May we deal with them as Jesus would deal with them, were he in our place. We ask this in Jesus' name, and bless this food that's been prepared. Let it be good for the nourishments of our body. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Nick. And now I'd like to take a moment to introduce some of the special guests that we have in the audience this morning. First of all, Police Chief Frank Fowler, if you would stand and be acknowledged. We also have Judge Brian DeJoseph in the house. Judge DeJoseph. Commissioners of the Syracuse Board of Education. And members of the Syracuse City Council. We also expect Mayor Minor to be in attendance as well. We also would like to take this moment to recognize our sponsors for the event this morning. We'd like the signature and high school level sponsors to stand. First, our signature level sponsors, the Pomco Group. ProAct Incorporated. And our high school level sponsors, the Abundant Life Christian Center and Mercy Works. You're supposed to stand too, Abundant Life and Mercy Works. Okay, yeah, there you go, all right. Day Automation, stand please. McGraw-Hill Education. Bryant and Stratton College. And the C&S companies. We'd also like to thank all of our other level sponsors and contributors who have come tonight and this morning to support the work of the foundation. You can find their names in your programs in your seats. Now, every year we do something really special. We put a penny under one of the plates on the table. Now, whoever finds the penny can take home the student centerpiece. Now, there's just one little caveat here. There's one little caveat, right? Not every table has a penny. I'm sorry. But if your table does have a penny, you get to take home the centerpiece, okay? Now, all right, so that's because of all of you who come. Now, the other thing is, we'd also like to thank Sarah Gentili, who's the Syracuse City School District Supervisor of Fine Arts, for coordinating this. Sarah, give her a shout out because she's doing some great work. Now, I want each of you to hold up that red box on the table. Just get over it, hold it up. Look at it. You know, there's a slot in the middle of it. You see that slot? Okay. So you know that each year the students, you can open it up, right? You open up that box. So each year the students from the school district work hard to create these colorful works for events that are happening throughout the year. So if you can, and if you would choose, before you leave today, you know, throw a little something in the box, okay? It could jingle, it could be on a piece of paper, it could be, you know, with some Benjamins or some Frank, whatever you want to put on there. Put something in the box so that this work can continue and we can support the great programs. Y'all with me on this? We got okay, all right. You know that when you give these contributions, this goes back to the schools who've donated their time, who've purchased supplies, and share their creativity with us. And you also help reimburse the school art classes for their service. So we agree on that? We're good? All right, so take a moment now, take a moment later, just put a little something in the box and we'll be good. Okay. At this time, I'd like for you to welcome to the stage Margie Sullivan. She's the chairperson of the Syracuse City School District Educational Foundation Board of Directors.
Good morning. Welcome to our 12th annual Syracuse City School Education Foundation Recognition Breakfast. Welcome, everybody. We have some very special guests with us today, as George said. Welcome, Mayor Minor, if she's arrived yet. Welcome to the council members, Board of Education members, Judge DeJoseph, our police chief. But we also have some very special honorees today. Mr. Pat Spadafora, Lawrence Bousquet, our Educator of the Year award winners, and our award winners that we are, I apologize, and our enrichment partners, sorry. What an amazing morning to be at the On Center. I hope everyone had time to visit and explore the grants this morning in the atrium. These opportunities would not be possible without the money that you donate. We thank you for that. These opportunities would not be possible without your money, and these students would not have this chance to experience these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities without your support. We thank you for that. We really appreciate your support year after year. At this time, I would like to introduce you to the Board of Ed Foundation members. Will the Board of Directors please stand? I'd like to introduce you to our Executive Board. I'll call out by name. Mike Sattler, Vice Chair, Adam Panic, Treasurer, Sarah Gilbert, Secretary, and Greg Rodenberger, immediate past Chair. Will you please stand, as well as all the members of the Board of Directors. Without this dedicated group of individuals, this foundation would not exist. The phenomenal opportunities for our students would not exist. Thank you all for your dedication. The next group of people I would like to recognize are the members of the Events and Development Committees. Will you please stand as well? Mike Sattler, Doreen Ural, Katie Sudwitz, Mike Wild, Michaela Allen, and Matthew Richards and Lisa Dorrell. This committee works together to plan the events as well as our golf event, as well as all of our fundraising. Please stand. I would be remiss if I didn't personally thank Jan Quitzow, our foundation administrator. Without Jan, I'm not sure what we would do. He makes sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed, and everybody has a seat at the breakfast. Thank you, Jan. Jan's in the back. The screen around us will change shortly. You will see our website. There it is. You'll see the coming soon on it. We will be launching our new website in May. This website is a long process that we've been doing. We wanted to give you a sneak peek since everybody was here today. With our new website, teachers will be able to apply for grants, look at the archives at past grants, seek help on how to fill out grants. But you, our supporters, will also be able to register for events such as today's breakfast, as well as our other event, our other big fundraiser, our golf event. That's been another change for the foundation. Our golf event's usually in September. It's been moved to August 17th. So we're hoping for warmer weather. We've had some cold weather in the past. You can also update your mailing information, or if you choose to, just donate to a good cause. Again, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I thank you for your support. Without it, we could not provide the teachers of Syracuse City School with grants that impact their students today, affording them opportunities that they may otherwise never experience. Thank you, and please enjoy the breakfast.
Thank you, Margie. Throughout the morning, we'll be showing you some videos about the work that we're doing, and let's cue that first group.
Hi, I'm Christina Sikorsky. I teach art at Corcoran High School. We are here at Lightworks Studio as the final part or field trip of our Educational Foundation grant. This is the IB Visual Art class that's here today, and they're going to be printing their digital art. Our grant is called Natural Technology. The motivation behind the grant was to introduce technology into the art room and to bring art, infuse art into our school's environment through creating landscapes. It's been exciting to watch the students create and produce. Today at Lightworks, we are going to be printing these pieces of art, which began on 5x7 iPads, which are going to be enlarged to 5 feet by 6 feet. So it's been a nice collaboration of the community, our PTSO, and I'm very proud of my students and what they are producing today. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Corey Patterson. I'm the music teacher at Webster Elementary School, and my grant project was Creativity with Music and Movement. And I've been working with the 5th grade students at Webster Elementary School, and they've been using creativity, improvisation, exploration, and their music knowledge in order to create an end-of-the-year performance. We come up with a format for a song, then we perform it and try it out, and then the students discuss with each other what they liked about the piece, maybe what they didn't like, and we go through this process with a variety of songs, and at the end of the year, the students, they'll be choosing the songs from the entire class, or through the whole year, and decide what we want to do for a performance. Students right now from Webster, we're trying out the song My Paddle's Keen and Bright, and we also have a song Snow Day that we've been working on throughout the school year.
Great project. I invite now Katie Keogh to come up. She volunteered this year to become chair of the Foundation Grants Committee when she joined the board. Katie?
Good morning, everyone. As George mentioned, this is my first year on the board, and I'm honored to be chairing the Grants Committee. I have enormous shoes to fill. As one of the awardees this year, Larry Bousquet was my predecessor and a long-term former member of the Syracuse City School District Educational Foundation Board. Larry graciously guided me through the process this year. I also want to extend my appreciation to all of the Grants Committee members for their time, thoughtful deliberations, and commitment to supporting the students in the Syracuse City School District. This year's projects are providing students with enrichment opportunities to explore social studies, English language arts, character development, science and technology through interactive art and music, and cultural exchanges, including projects such as a Mythbusters model project that teaches students about the scientific method, student-created music compositions and performances. And this week, a group of Nottingham High School students returned from a trip to New York City where they visited the Museum of Tolerance and the library. They will be sharing their reflections of this experience to all of their fellow students through articles in their student newspaper. Please take a look at the video clips throughout the morning highlighting many of the projects and the report card that you'll find in your program with a list of all of this year's funded projects. I hope you also all had a chance to walk around and talk with the students and the teachers and take a look at the amazing work that they're doing. And I want to send a special thank you to the students that came today to talk about their program so articulately. I was so impressed with them. Yes, thank you. Thank you, students. I also want to extend a special thank you to the students at the Institute of Technology at Central Tech Media Communications class, and to their instructors, Cheryl Molesky and Nick Lissy, for producing the videos you're watching today. We at the board appreciate all that the teachers, administrators, and district staff have done to make these projects a reality. Now, none of this would be possible without the ongoing support of our sponsors and all of you here today. With your generosity, we have provided over $700,000 in grants during the past 12 years, with almost 200 projects funded. Thank you so much.
Speaking of grants, let's take another look at another grant.
Our grant is called African Folktales Puppet Project, and the children are creating puppets, and they're going to perform African folktales that they wrote the scripts for in the library. And it's an important project because we're connecting ELA with art through the study of folktales, and also bringing in a multicultural element. They're learning about African culture and African artistic and stylistic influences. So it's a very interdisciplinary project. Thinking that it'll be towards the end of April, we would want to be performing our puppet shows, and part of our project is a performance from the Open Hand Puppet Theater. It's a puppet show called The Stonecutter, and we're also having an artist from Open Hand Puppet Theater come in for a workshop in April as an artist in residence. Community event, it'll be, families will be invited. They'll be performing them for the other children in the school, the younger grades, and it'll be important, for the students who study folktales in ELA. So, for our African characters, we're using African fabric, kente fabric, and a lot of the students have animal characters too, Anansi the spider, and giraffes and elephants and other African animals. So can really, become very expressive with the hands and so forth.
Hi, I'm Julie Stutzley, and I am the band and general music teacher here at Edward Smith's K-8 school. We won the grant for bringing a local composer in, Diane Jones, to work with our keyboard class in 8th grade. And they are going to be creating melodies and composing a song with Miss Diane Jones for our concert band that's going to be presented at the Latin Fire event. It was about having our school work on the Latin culture of music from different disciplines. So we have like the Spanish class has been doing PowerPoint presentations on Latin musicians. We are going to have the kids learn about the Latin styles of music and compose around that type of music. We're going to have our concert band and our jazz band play Latin music. And we also want to put on food and everything. We're going to have a huge event around music and culture of the Latin countries. I'd like to add that I'm very grateful to the Education Foundation for giving us this money to have Diane Jones come in and have the students actually meet a live composer who can tell them how she works in the world.
Very nice. So you can see we have some really, really good projects. And we're serving breakfast now, so we invite you to enjoy the breakfast. And as you look at the screens, we'll be showing you some of the slideshows of some of the images of some of the grant projects. So I'll be back with you in a few moments, but enjoy your breakfast, and we'll continue with our program. we're. It was so much fun. As you continue to enjoy your breakfast, we will continue our morning program. And once again, let's give a warm applause for the Henniger High School Jazz Combo. I wanted to acknowledge that Mayor Stephanie Miner has arrived. Mayor, would you please stand and be recognized? At this time, I'd like to introduce our Superintendent of the Syracuse City School District, Sharon Contreras.
Thank you. Good morning. And welcome to the 12th Annual Syracuse City School District Educational Foundation Recognition Breakfast. Thank you for being here today to support the Foundation's mission to supplement, support, and enrich the student experience to prepare all students for a successful future. Your support today is what allows all of us within the Syracuse City School District community to continue to make strides towards achieving excellence. I want to take a moment to thank all of those who have worked so tirelessly in support of those we serve, the children of the Syracuse City School District. To our Board of Education, thank you for your attendance today. President Michelle Mignano, Commissioners Pat Bodie, Dave Cecil, Derek Dorsey, Mark Muhammad, Max Ruckdeschel, and Stephen Swift. Your diligence and forward-thinking decisions on behalf of our students and their schools are always appreciated. Would you please stand? Through my 2 decades in the field of education, I have learned that there is no greater gift than seeing a child eager to learn. Because of your support this year, the Education Foundation was able to provide more than $52,000 in grants, which will fund 16 projects right here in our Syracuse City schools. From learning to compose music, to turning African folk tales into plays, to interacting with college students from different cultures, these grants will allow our students to expand their horizons and become excited about learning. I hope you have enjoyed the presence of our many talented students here who benefited from the 2014-15 Educational Foundation Fund grant projects. No doubt you have also appreciated our exceptionally talented Henniger High School Jazz Combo, who provide the beautiful music this morning. I would ask that all of the Syracuse City School District students who are present today to please stand. Thank you. As we all know, dedicated students are often a result of dedicated teachers and support staff. I would like all of the Syracuse City School District teachers, support staff, and administrators to please stand. Each year, the Foundation recognizes 4 men and women who are nominated by students, colleagues, or community members as making an exceptional contribution to the Syracuse City School District. These Educators of the Year have each demonstrated a positive attitude, a good example for students and fellow educators, and excellence in their role. Today, I am so proud to congratulate Ms. Goodness, Mr. Clam, Ms. Jackson, and Ms. Clark. In a district with nearly 22,000 students and more than 3,500 staff, the four of you are being recognized for your contributions. I cannot emphasize enough the ripple effect of positivity that individuals like you inspire within our community. Your passion, attitude, and efforts are invaluable to all of us at the Syracuse City School District and beyond. Thank you. I also wish to congratulate Patrick Spadafora as the recipient of the Recognition Award, as well as to Larry Bousquet, recipient of the Founders Award. Support for students extends far beyond the classroom, and your contributions, along with those of our community enrichment partners, are important threads in the tapestry that is the Syracuse City School District. Finally, this lovely breakfast would of course not be possible without the tireless work of the Educational Foundation Board of Directors. Thanks to each of you for your dedication to the Foundation's vision of making our community stronger through achievement of excellence in public education. Each person in this room today should feel proud of the positive way in which you have helped contribute to our Syracuse City School District. It is important to note that despite increases in funding and allocation in science, technology, engineering, and the arts, we could never keep up in public schools in Syracuse or across the nation with the innovation in technology, the changes in education. So I thank you so much, all of you who have contributed through finances and through volunteering, tutoring, giving your time. I thank you so much for what you do for the 22,000 students in the school district. So on behalf of the Board of Education, the nearly 4,000 employees, and the gifted and talented and beautiful students that we serve, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your program.
Thank you. I just want to remind you that there's a red box on your table, and we want to see something in that box when this program is over. We will now introduce you to another video group.
My name is Kathy Kurgan, and I'm a third grade teacher at Roberts School. And my co-teacher and I applied for the grant. We called it Beyond Anti-Bullying. We felt like we wanted to do more than just teach about anti-bullying. We wanted to teach kids about relationships and build relationships, and anti-bullying being part of it. So we've tried to create, and have had some pretty good success, creating a caring classroom and a caring third grade that now is working with the iPads. They had to write their own scripts, and then they had to find research on the internet. They had to research statistics on bullying and how it affects kids their age. And then they are taping and editing their footage. So some kids are taping, some kids are practicing their PSAs, some kids are still writing their PSAs, and some kids are putting the finishing touches on their PSAs. I'd like to thank the Ed Foundation for funding our grant. It's been a big success, we feel, so far, and the kids have learned a lot, and they're working together as a community, and their PSAs will go out to other folks, and we just really appreciate the opportunity to be able to give the kids this opportunity.
Hello, I'm Kelly Molinet. I'm a 7th grade consultant teacher at Danforth Middle School. Our 7th grade team wanted to write a grant to support a book that we read in 7th grade called A Long Walk to Water, about the lost boys of Sudan. So we wrote a grant to bring John Dow, who is a gentleman who is a National Geographic explorer, an author. He is a philanthropist. He runs medical clinics in South Sudan, and we wanted to bring him here to talk about his experiences, to make the book come alive for our kids and to give them a real-life connection to what they were reading. Even when we told them John Dow was coming throughout the fall when they were reading the book and doing their ELA work, it didn't seem real until he was here. And he's this 6'8", tall, dark African man with this musical accent and this amazing story. And I can't tell you how many times during his presentation in the auditorium, kids looked at me and said, wait, this is really one of the Lost Boys. We had an essay contest with prizes, and the kids' stories were amazing. The teachers sat and read these stories, and we were just amazed at the voices that our kids had, at the things that they had overcome in their own lives, and it really gave us an opportunity to connect more deeply with our students. And then we added the component that the kids would auction these art pieces to raise money for John Dow's Foundation, which builds medical clinics in South Sudan. And the reason why this became the most important part for me is because we talk about how it's better to give than to receive, but we never give kids, and especially urban students, the opportunity to be in the better position, which is the position of the giver. And so in this project, as they auctioned these pieces, they had an opportunity to take something that they're talented at, something that they invested time in, something that was a physical product of the good things that they have inside of them, and they had an opportunity to raise $250 for the South Sudan Foundation. I'm grateful to the Syracuse Education Foundation. At Danforth, we have a lot of challenges, and we don't often have the resources necessary to do really fun stuff. So this grant gave our 7th grade team an opportunity to collaborate, to dream, to come up with crazy ideas and then narrow them down for this grant. We had a great opportunity to work together, and we're inspired to do more because the reactions of the kids, the engagement with the material, the changes we've seen in how they treat one another and how they view their own work here at school has inspired us to think up something bigger next year.
Wow, that's good. And I love the words that she used, dreams, inspiration, and collaboration. And that's part of the support that your dollars help raise for the grants in the projects that you've seen. Well, Superintendent Contreras reached out to several first-class cultural institutions and higher education partners in Syracuse to create a unique opportunity to offer high-quality enrichment programs to 12 schools in the district that currently provide or are in the planning stages of providing extended learning time to the students. Now, the goals of the partnership are to align with the goals of the educational programs of the district and to provide high-quality enrichment to 100% of students in partnering schools in STEM, the arts, communications, etc. But this enrichment to students is while teachers are in collaborative planning time and professional development. Now we're going to introduce you to some of those enrichment partners. Now, a more detailed description will be in your program, but first, let's call up Dave Cotter from the Red House Arts Center. The Red House Arts Center partners with Seymour Dual Language Academy, Porter Elementary, and Bellevue Elementary School. They use project-based learning, teaching artists engage in 8 units focused on dance, music, drama, and design. And they strive to engage and apply and reinforce the core curriculum using arts as a delivery system. Now, following each unit, students perform for their school communities and they share performance to showcase their work for their peers in the celebration of their process. And I think I had a chance to see one of those shows this past year. I think it was, I can't remember the name now. Thank you, The Color Purple. Who said that? Thank you, yes. Which was a great show, by the way. Congratulations. And let's give it up for the Red House once again. Nancy Volk from the Museum of Science and Technology. Every 4th, 6th, and 8th grader in the school district comes to the most for hands-on curriculum-based workshops, planetarium shows, and educational movies in the domed IMAX theater. In addition, the most provides a women's summer camp, extended learning time program, Danforth Days, special field trips, science on the go, teacher training, and Parent University. Congratulations for the successful partnership of the Museum of Science and Technology. Patricia Leone, representing Contact Community Services. Contact Community Services provides classroom assistance to the most at Lincoln Middle School. Now, Contact's enrichment support specialists assist the most teachers with lesson plans, daily activities, and instruction. They also assist with engaging students in the lesson plans and help the enrichment projects while building relationships with the students. Congratulations to our partnership with Contact. For the Baltimore Woods Nature Center, Mary Kate Intaglietta. Baltimore Woods Natural STEM Enrichment Program provides exciting opportunities for students in grades K through 5 at Fraser K-8 School and students in grades K through 4 at H.W. Smith Elementary School to receive high-quality, engaging, hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math support in informal environments through instruction by a team of natural STEM teachers. Daily instruction in each school is provided by a team of 16 teachers and impacts 900 students between both buildings. Thank you to Baltimore Woods. Laura Luckenheimer from Peaceful Schools. Peaceful Schools is supporting 2 major initiatives and 4 site-specific programs to support students, including serving as a cultural partner at H.W. Smith School. Peaceful Schools Peace Through the Arts team brings peace and social instruction through arts enrichment to students in grades 5 through 8 as part of the regular school day. They also provide external school climate coaches in each school. Now, coaches work closely with members of the discipline and school climate team to support efforts to create and maintain a positive school culture within each building, bringing its touring production of Have You Filled a Bucket Today, the play, to several elementary schools throughout the district. Peaceful Schools, thank you. Representing Catholic Charities, Mark Clary. The schools are partnering with Clary, Franklin Elementary, and Meacham School. Catholic Charities staff provides behavioral support and intervention to students in each classroom so that they all may benefit from enrichment. Catholic Charities partners and staff at Meacham School also implement the Say Yes After School program. Catholic Charities partners with the school district to provide universal pre-K to over 200 children. Thank you, Catholic Charities. Our next enrichment partner, Syracuse Stage, and representing them, Lauren Umbakant. Syracuse Stage and Franklin Elementary create exciting opportunities for students to engage in critical thinking through arts-based learning. Syracuse Stage teaches artists in partnership with Franklin Elementary and Catholic Charities. They spent the first half of the year engaging imaginations by providing a toolbox of ideas and skills based on the students of art, a multi-arts approach to encourage students to explore how theater is made. Syracuse Stage. And Kofer from the Syracuse University Arts Education Department. Using art, drama, performance, dancing, and STEM projects, their aim is to support every child's learning to become college and career ready. Next month, they're looking forward to breaking ground on the new community garden in collaboration with the Northeast Community Center and are working on a ceramic mural in the ceramics department at Syracuse University, the Syracuse University Arts Education Department. And our final partner today is SUNY ESF. They work with students at Van Dyne and Dr. King Elementary Schools. Yes, please give it up for them. ESF students and faculty do activities and projects on plants, animals, adaptations, weather, ecosystems, and biomes. They are now beginning an earth science project which will focus on fossils, dinosaurs, and plants. Let's have one more round for all of our enrichment partners. And let's take a look at another one of the grants.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Kroll from Nottingham High School, and I am sponsoring the Orange and Blue Ambassador Group today at the Clinton Ice Rink downtown. This is part of our wonderful grant to do an exchange between Syracuse University and Nottingham High School. We have French and Spanish students gathered with students from all over the world from Syracuse University. They are here to do an exchange with them, not only try to practice their own new language they're learning, but also to introduce their own community to the students that go to up to the university and show them around the city a little bit. So each month we meet with these students, and we either have mixtures, or today we're doing ice skating. Next month we're going to be doing a baking class at the Scsd Cafe, learn how to make some cakes. We are going to be doing some team building out at Adams Eden Camp, do some corporate bikes out at Onondaga Lake Park, just to name a few of the wonderful events that this fund has been able to provide us with. I picked ice skating because I think that the Clinton Ice Rink downtown is absolutely beautiful. If you actually stand inside the ice rink, it is a old portion of the Erie Canal. And I'm not even sure if all of my Nottingham students know that they're going to be ice skating over the old Erie Canal. And if they look at historical pictures of Syracuse, they will see the canal running through it with these same exact buildings that have been here for hundreds of years. I also hope that they can get over their shyness in the beginning, and usually by the end of our 2 hours with these students, they are exchanging emails and phone numbers and have new friends from all around the world. So thank you to the Educational Foundation.
The grant was taking place through time, footprints through time. So the kids are looking at different time periods. So they looked at Egypt, and then they looked at India. They're going to be looking at Rome and Greece and China. And by looking at each of the civilizations, they look at what artifacts they left behind that we've seen and found, and what they left for us in future generations. So they're recreating those artifacts. They had to research them, and then they do a write-up showing where the footprint was, what it was, and then where do we see that footprint today. So it's been able to promote their learning. Right now they're doing a lot of artwork. They create artifacts that they're able to use the materials for, and then we're documenting them creating the artifacts through either the videotape or the photography, so that parents will be able to see the whole learning process that's involved with it. The plaster, the sculptures that they're able to build now, the basket weaving, they have the stuff that they can actually do it correctly. So just having all those things on hand has helped make the quality of work stronger.
Wow, it's great. I don't know about you, but I feel so inspired and encouraged after watching those grant awards. And this is really what it's all about, giving students the opportunity to dream. Well, it's time for our recognition awards, and our first recipient is Pat Spadafora, and to introduce him, I'd like to invite Stephanie DeJoseph.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Minor. That's M-I-N-O-R, like in the minor league. I'm in the minor league because I wasn't the first choice to make this introduction. Actually, I am Stephanie DeJoseph, part of the second string, but also very honored to introduce Pat Spadafora as the recipient of the 2015 Educational Foundation Recognition Award. Full disclosure, my husband Brian was the first choice. He was chosen because he has a fancy title. Who wouldn't want to be introduced by a distinguished Supreme Court judge? So, you might wonder, why was the task handed over to me? Well, Brian did not grow up on Shotwell Park, a few doors away from the Spataforas. I did. Furthermore, he is not a graduate of Henniger High School. I am. He never taught at Henniger High School. I did. And last, and maybe most important, he doesn't know where the secrets are kept. I do. Years ago, when I was on assignment writing about the actor Kirk Douglas, I wrapped up my questioning by telling him that I was surprised that he was such a warm, gentle person, not the tough guy he played in movies. Taken aback by my candor, he made me promise never to give up his cover. Well, Mr. Spatafora, what's good for Kirk is good for you. Your cover is about to be blown. Pat Spatafora was born and raised in Syracuse, New York. He is the eldest of his two siblings and graduated from Syracuse City Schools, Franklin Elementary, Grant Junior High, and North High School. In fact, he met his future wife, Laura Casciano, in 4th grade at Franklin School. 61 years later, they are still a happy couple, sometimes. He received his bachelor's degree from Lemoyne College and 2 master's degrees from Syracuse University. He began his career as an engineer at the Magnavox Corporation in Fort Wayne, Indiana, conducting ballistic rocket research on behalf of the U.S. Navy. So anyone who says he is not capable of rocket science is dead wrong. In 1954, he and Laura returned to Syracuse, where he began his 38-year storied career with the Syracuse City School District. Pat worked his way up the educational ladder, from grade school teacher to high school teacher, to vice principal, then principal. He was director of middle schools and capped his career as the director of high schools and vocational education. He has been an active member of many community activities, including the Rotary Club, for nearly 25 years. He has received many, many awards and special recognitions throughout his illustrious career. We all know Pat Spatafora is a very accomplished man who has spent a lifetime furthering the education of countless students. But what we don't see between the lines of his biography is the man Pat Spatafora is. And there the secrets lie. By day, as principal of Henniger, he would lumber through the halls, issuing directives, never afraid to approach a wrongdoer. Hey, where's your pass? Get to class. By night, he would enter his home, calling his French poodles, Gidget, Gigi, Coco, come give Daddy a kiss. And doggy daycare continued, and then came Maggie, Quinny, Peppy, and Sabrina. When I was a kid, floundering with where to go to college, he guided me to Lemoyne, his alma mater. When I was looking for my first job as a teacher, he was there with a line on a position. When I taught at Henniger, he looked after me. He has been present at every important milestone in my life. Just the other day, he and his wife sent food to our family after our daughter gave birth to premature twins. I know I was not the only one who received his kindness and caring. His father-in-law moved in with them shortly after they married and stayed until he passed. His niece Paula spent her high school years there. Then there was Dina DiMaria, a fresh air kid from New York City who enjoyed her summers so much with them, she brought her younger brother along. The Spataforas also hosted an exchange student from Costa Rica, Carmen Rodriguez, who is now a successful doctor. Pat and his wife Laura also became foster parents to 10-year-old Melissa, a student at Dr. Weeks. Both women, all grown up, maintain a strong bond with the Spatafora family. I've learned many things from Pat. Number one, share your abundance. Lenore and Doreen, now grown and married, still receive their father's generosity. Sometimes it's a much-needed refrigerator or surplus produce from the regional market. And Ken Ural, don't roll your eyes. I've heard those deliveries came too often, too early, and unannounced. Just say thank you. I've also learned, never invite a prom date who wears high-top sneakers with a tux, unless you want to hear about it for the rest of your life. And last, and most important lesson I think I've learned, is that guardian angels don't wear wings and white gowns. They can appear as apple-shaped bald men. So at long last, I've waited nearly 50 years to tell Pat Spatafora how much he has impacted my life and how I love him like a father. Mrs. Spatafora, Lenore, Paul, and Zachary, Doreen, Ken, Matthew, and Michael, you are all very lucky to have this angel in your lives, and so are we. Without any further ado, I'd like to ask Pat Spatafora to step up to receive this very special honor.
I don't know between Stephanie and with Margie wrote about my biography. I don't think I have any thunder left. I think they've taken it from me. But I think I have a few things in there that I can still talk to you about. My wife Laura has said to me that she's never seen me so frazzled in all my life. As I look out here, I feel like Father Time in this group. I think that I can safely say that I'm probably the father of time for all of you. I'd like to thank the Syracuse City School District for recognition given to me this morning. I feel very humbled to be so honored. This is really a tribute to the many staff members and parents I was privileged to associate with, and who were my partners in graduating so many exceptional young people throughout the years. I think I've noticed here today that the class of 73 is well represented. I see Larry Bousquet, who will be here later, Terry McDonald, Terry and Tom are married, Tom McDonald, and I see Stephanie Joseph. And you know, these were rebel students. In a way, their yearbook was a powder blue yearbook with all designs on the outside, when the traditional yearbook was a black and gold one. I've learned to live through that. I've seen other members here that graduated from Henniker High School. Mark Muhammad was quite a student in his days at Henniker. I enjoyed him and his brother very, very much. I also see Mark Sullivan here, and it's a joy to see these young people. This is really a situation which occurred to you last year when you honored David Moynihan. I'd like to take, he was also a member of that class of 73. In fact, he was the president of the class. I'd like to just have you take a moment to remember him in your prayers. As a lifelong resident of the city of Syracuse and a proud graduate of our city schools, I'm honored to be recognized by an organization that provides vital resources to staff members to support their student learning. What you don't know, and which wasn't in the biography, was where I started this education. I started it at Townsend School, and if you don't know where Townsend School was, it's at the site of Our Lady of Pompeii Church. I started there in their kindergarten through grade 3, went on to Franklin School 4 through 6, and you know now, because it's written in the book, that I met my lovely wife, Laura, there, who, by the way, has been a constant companion that has been there so that people would tolerate me because of her. I'm honored to be recognized by an organization that provides vital resources, as I said, for student learning. I like to also say that in retirement, I've been a member of the Rotary Club of Syracuse. Through a unique partnership between Rotary and the District Special Education Department, and I noticed that Ed Irwin, who was the director that first initiated this project that we now have, and Brian Polvino, who continues with it in this capacity as the present director. We provide an annual holiday party for approximately 50 6- and 7-year-old students with special needs. This tradition has been going on for 10 years. We've also, in addition, adopted the first grade classes at Lemoyne Elementary School in a 4-year continuous program, hoping to see them through their career at Lemoyne. By supporting the Educational Foundation, our community has a unique opportunity to continue to provide staff with additional support to creatively benefit Syracuse students. I'd like to thank you again for your recognition, and I'd like to thank Stephanie for our heartwarming introduction. Thank you.
Next, we'll have Mayor Stephanie Miner introduce Larry Bousquet, who will be presented the Foundation's Founders Award.
Thank you very much. I want to congratulate Mr. Spadafora and, of course, the most beloved Stephanie in the city of Syracuse, Stephanie DeJoseph. And you understand why now. That presentation and both of those remarks were so touching that I have decided to rip up my prepared remarks, which is probably fortunate for all of you because it was going to be a 45-minute recitation on how important infrastructure is to Larry Bousquet's life. But it is, by the way, very important. But instead, if you will allow me to just speak for longer than I was supposed to and a little bit more extended than I was supposed to. And whether you allow me or not, I'm going to do it because you're in my city. And my police chief is right here. So it was probably one of the biggest challenges I had in thinking about coming here today. How do you introduce Larry Bousquet? I mean, Larry is truly a man of all seasons, and everyone in this room has in one way or another been part of a civil organization or an education organization or a project, all with the sole aim of making our community better. And in other parts of the country, they would call him a man of all seasons or a Renaissance man, but here in Syracuse, we call him a graduate of Syracuse City Schools. But it's not just Larry, and it's not just his activities, and I want to use my own personal example to share with you how fortunate we are to live in such a community that has the benefit of having people of Larry Bousquet's caliber. When Stephanie was talking, and then Pat Spadafora was talking about other graduates of that Henniger class, I was not a graduate of the Henniger class of '73, nor am I a graduate of Henniger, although in certain places I say that proudly when they're like Nottingham grads around or something. But those graduates have touched my life and have made such an important part of my life that I would not be standing here today without them. So let me start with saying to you that back in 1999, I graduated from law school and got a job in Syracuse. And one of the first people I'd called, because I had sort of known him through campaigns, was Larry. And I went to his office and I said, Larry, I've got a lot of debt, and I don't have that much money, and I want to pay off my debt, and I don't know how to figure out how to do this. And Larry was very gracious with his time and suggestions, and indeed helped put me on a path where eventually I did pay off all that debt. And he never charged me for that visit or charged me for the other things. It was something he did. And then as I began to get more politically active, and I started thinking about running for office, which was audacious in and of itself because I didn't come from a political family, and I didn't have a last name that people knew, and I was relatively young. Larry said, well, I'm going to introduce you people, and I'm going to have an event for you at my home. And he opened up his home, and he brought into his home Dave Moynihan. And it was the first time I met Dave Moynihan. And by Larry putting his proverbial blessing on me, Dave became my friend. And I say that he became my friend and my advocate and somebody who I could talk to every day or somebody I could talk to every other month, but somebody I definitely miss both as a person and as a mayor. And in another unique way, Stephanie DeJoseph also became part of my life because Dave used to say that Stephanie DeJoseph was the woman who broke his heart, which, as you can see, you can understand why that would easily happen. Unfortunately, Dave would say that about a lot of women that he would introduce. And Stephanie DeJoseph came into my life, and then, as luck would have it in Syracuse, Stephanie's husband, who, while he may have a great title, let's be honest, he also has fantastic judgment, obviously. Stephanie's husband and my mother grew up in Eastwood together, so the DeJosephs and my family have been part and parcel for a long time. But when I decided to run for mayor and I had no money and no staff, I called up Christy DeJoseph. I said, I'm looking for somebody to help me. I need somebody. And she said, well, why don't you talk to my sister? And next thing I know, Elizabeth DeJoseph is coming into my office, and with Elizabeth DeJoseph comes the Spataforas, comes the Eastwoods extended network, and comes all of the people that you have talked to today. I say that in deference to say to you that we live in a community that has people who believe in other people, and by working together, we make our community stronger. And I don't mean to say that somehow Larry and Stephanie and Dave are somehow special because they helped get me elected mayor. I say that to you to say that every single person that they have touched has touched another life. And Larry is the one person that you will hear over and over again throughout civic discussions, educational discussions, economic discussions. It is not a stretch to say that there is nothing good that happens in this community without Larry being part and parcel of it. And that when people come and say, I've got this project I'm working on, merging the chamber and the MDA, I'm working on the educational foundation, we're working on modernizing government, as soon as they say Larry Bousquet is a part of it, it brings its own stamp of approval. But Larry would not have been able to do it, of course, without having the education first and foremost from the city school district. And as a true man of all seasons and a Syracuse City School graduate, he has given back extraordinarily to all of us in this room, in the city, in the county, and in the community. Now, when I first met Larry, I knew he also exhibited good judgment because he too married an educator. And whenever Larry goes and does a project, Lori is also part and parcel of that project. And when I first met Larry and first started working with him, his son Christopher was shorter than I am, significantly. That is no longer the case. They are an extraordinary family. Larry is a photographer, a cook, a thinker, and a person that I am proud to call friend, and that we are all extraordinarily fortunate to have as a member of our community who gives of his heart, of his soul, and of his mind. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, another proud graduate of the 1973 class of Henniger High School, Larry Bousquet.
I'm going to have to lift this up a little bit. Thank you very much. I thought I was done after last year standing in front of all of you, but it's a pleasure to be here. Mayor Miner, thank you so much for your kind words, and thank you for your dedication to the students and educators in the Syracuse City School District. Just yesterday, I heard the mayor speak passionately about the importance of our schools being front and center on our community's agenda. Thank you for reminding us that basic fairness and equity will not come without attention and effort. Members of the Syracuse City School District Education Foundation Board, Margie, Jan, Superintendent Contreras, thank you so much for this honor. I must tell you that I am humbled to receive the Founders Award, especially on a day when you have honored my high school principal, Mr. Spatafora, truly a giant in the history of the Syracuse City School District. If anyone doubts the difference a principal can make, they didn't attend or work in a school where Pat Spatafora was in charge. I can think of no person more dedicated to the education of students than Mr. Spatafora. As you may have seen in the materials, my history in the city schools started a long time ago, 1960, if you can believe that. I like that Mr. Spatafora referred to us as young people. My brother Phil and I attended the same Salem Hyde Elementary School that my mother attended many years before and that my son Chris attended many years after. I also attended the former Lincoln Junior High School up on Vine Street Hill and then graduated from Henniger in '73. And you've heard all about the Henniger class of '73 who is here today. But one thing I'm extraordinarily proud of is that a number of my classmates dedicated their careers to teaching or working in the city's schools. And a number of them are here today. Tom McDonald and T. Shacey were both not only worked in the city schools, but worked at Henniger High School for their careers. You've also heard us talk about Dave Moynihan, and this is the first time our group has gathered since Dave's passing, and he was an honoree at last year's breakfast, and our thoughts are with him and his family and his friends and colleagues. I want to make it clear that I am only a small bit player in each of the organizations that the mayor was talking about. And what I want to do is give the real credit to the true heroes who enable these organizations to make a positive impact on teaching and learning in the city schools. You'll see in the material something about the Book Buddies program. The heart and soul of that program is Lori Black, and she's the executive director of Syracuse 2020, and Lori is here today. Lori and that program have been tremendously supported by Ginny Carmody, the executive director of the Literacy Coalition of Onondaga County, the indomitable Kathy Murphy, who's the head of the 2020 board, Meg O'Connell, executive director of the Allen Foundation, who's the head of the Education Task Force of Syracuse 2020. I've got to say that from noon to 1 p.m. every Monday is the most enjoyable and rewarding hour of the week, as it is for everybody who volunteers in that program. Reading alongside Lewis and Quajan and O'Neill is a tremendous joy, made all the more rewarding by the organization and structure of a program and the collaborative commitment of the first and second grade team, the program coordinators, and the volunteers that want to make the program one that moves the needle on student achievement. This is a program that's at Seymour School, and if you haven't been in a city school in a long time, it's definitely worth the visit. Serving on the City School District Foundation Board was a tremendous honor. Being chair of the grant committee was a joy. The generosity of all of you who have donated every year to the foundation, either at the breakfast or during the golf tournament, or through the extraordinary financial gifts, like the one made by Superintendent Contreras, enable the foundation to support the creative spark of classroom teachers by funding projects for which resources would not otherwise be available. Many thanks to the always prepared and organized Jan, sometimes Jan Quitzo, the dedicated officers and members of the board, and the representatives of the district on the grants committee, who were always knowledgeable and extremely helpful in making certain that the grants made by the foundation were effective, creative, sustainable, and in the best interests of the education of the students in the district. As my son Chris, who's here with us today, is closing on the end of his junior year in college, which is very hard to believe, I often think back on his great years at Salem Hyde. Mr. Spatafora's daughter and my good friend Lenore Seeley and I served as officers of the Salem Hyde PTO for many of the years that Chris and her son Zach attended Salem. Nothing about that was extraordinary, but it was extraordinarily fun. I saw Octavia Wilcox here a little bit earlier. Octavia and the talented teachers, aides, and staff made Salem a superb learning environment, and as Chris will attest, prepared him very well for the education that was to come. I could not have been involved in any of these organizations or activities without the enthusiastic support, encouragement, and participation of my partners at Bousquet Holstein. Part of the culture and value system of our firm is to try to make our community a better place. All of my partners serve community organizations in many ways and live those values, and I'm very proud to say that a good number of my partners also serve as book buddies. There's no better place to serve and contribute than our city schools. The literally hundreds of pro bono hours that have been donated to organizations that complement or provide services to our city schools is something of which we as a firm are very proud. Over the past several years, a good part of my volunteer time has been devoted to another foundation. I want to thank the staff and the trustees of the Gifford Foundation for all that they do in this community. The heroes of that organization are our staff. Dirk and Sheena and Heidi and Lindsay and Marty and Kim help build the capacity of not-for-profit organizations, convene the community around critical issues, and nurture the grassroots through that foundation's grant making, much of which touches the city of Syracuse and the children who attend city schools. In the end, like all of you, have been molded by the extraordinary teachers that we have had. I started school with the same kindergarten teacher who taught my mother, Miss Driscoll, a wonderful blue-haired woman who wore a different colored ribbon in her hair every day. A few extraordinary teaching moments have stuck with me for 40-plus years since high school, and I see a few of those high school teachers here today. Ralph Bova's here, Hayden Patton is here today. I remember a very cool young teacher named Rose Shansky, who I'm sure Mr. Spadafora brought to Henniger, asking us to imagine ourselves in the shoes of a Civil War soldier who was caught up in the frantic retreat in the Red Badge of Courage, and asked us to write about how that felt. I remember the dour John Farrell, who spent an entire semester teaching us Robert Penn Warren's All the King's Men, my first close reading of a great American novel, in a class that had a real impact on my admission to Kenyon College. But finally, I want to tell you about my greatest hero, and the person whom I have learned the most about education from whom I have learned the most about education. Excuse me. My wife, Lori, has been a teacher since she graduated from Lemoyne at age 19 in 1978. After a career as a junior high school teacher, staff developer, and education consultant with the Northeast Foundation for Children, Lori has been a professor in the education department at Lemoyne College. I should also note she's been an extraordinary parent to our son, Chris, who seems to have inherited all of her good academic qualities. I learned from Lori that teaching is the highest calling and the most dedicated profession, continually working on lesson plans, pursuing professional development, reaching out to students and their families, even bringing lesson plans to the Carrier Dome during football games. I learned that there is no silver bullet for improving education. It requires tremendous hard work, giving respect and earning respect, teaching the students where you find them, and recognizing that teaching life and social skills requires as much rigor and training as teaching academic subjects. Following the research where it leads and being open to profound change, and more than anything else, being passionate about the fact that every individual student attending our schools is important, has potential, and can be successful, and that teachers make a difference. So with great love, thank you for those lessons, Lori, and thank you very much to all of you.
And while they're getting their photographs, we'll have a look at another video.
I would like to remind you to display the core values we expect at Robert.
Respect, responsibility, and safety.
Remember why you were here to learn, grow, and make a difference in the world.
Our vision is to cultivate inquiring, open-minded, and caring young people with a strong foundation in academics.
My name is Michael Lounsbury. I'm a teaching assistant at Roberts School, and I have the privilege of running the WJTR news program that we have here. It's been running probably on 20 years now.
Good morning, Roberts.
All great day, and learn, and learn some more. Have a great
Well, I'm working with
week.
kids from anywhere from 3rd to up to 8th grade in the TV program at WJTR
Bonus
news.
5, kid. That's good. 4.
Can you name 3 NC?
Well, the program was started by the time I got here, and that was probably about 15, 16 years ago, and it's been running ever since then. And it's a great way to get the news out to the school, and it also helps kids get prepared for future, maybe even in broadcast news.
Or theme, or literature. Describe the imaginary and
It's great for the kids because they get a chance to either work in front of or behind the camera. The kids in school that watch the news every day get to see their friends delivering that news, and there seems to be a real camaraderie amongst the people, the kids that do the news.
And that's it for WJTR News. Everyone have a great day and learn some more. Have a great week, and I ain't going nowhere.
Hi everybody, I'm Jim Palumbo, principal at the MSAP school here in the Syracuse City School District. And I'm representing one of our teachers, Pat Gillette, who has successfully applied for an Ed Foundation grant to start a fishing program at our school. At our school, we are trying to teach not just academics, but very good life skills. Social and emotional health is something that we strive for at our building, and we feel that an activity in the outdoors, such as fishing, teaches wellness, and is a lifelong skill that our students can use to keep themselves relaxed, calm, and well throughout their lives. Today, in the activities you're seeing in the gym, is the first startup of our spring program as our kids are getting ready to learn the basics of fishing. This is basically our second casting lesson, and you'll see varying degrees of success with kids hitting the targets as planned, and some kids who are still casting at 12 o'clock, but for some reason their lure ends up at 7:30. And we will continue working on that skill as the snow melts, and we are getting ready for the April 1st, which is the start of fishing season, and our approach to lifelong wellness, and a great skill that our students will be able to use all the way through their lives.
My name is Tim Fitzpatrick. This project came about as I moved over here from the high school, and working with an alternative group of students, I decided that all students should have these opportunities to get involved in STEM activity. Right now, the kids are working on individual projects. As we are moving on through the rest of the year, we're hoping the teamwork that they are using is going to allow them to build a rocket. The culminating activity is the rocket competition at the end of the year, in which they're going to use everything that they've learned throughout the rocket activity time to hopefully successfully launch a rocket. My hope is that in the long run, these students are going to be involved in science, technology programs throughout the high schools. Am I smarter than a fifth grader? Not always.
Great job. And before I continue, how about one more round of applause for our honorees this morning? It's now time for our 2015 Educator of the Year Awards, and I'd like to invite back up here Margie Sullivan and Superintendent Sharon Contreras to do the honors.
Good morning. We have people introducing our award winners. So I would like to welcome Emily Smith, this speech and hearing impaired teacher from Hughes Elementary, to introduce our first award winner, Megan Goodness.
Good morning. Again, my name is Emily Smith, and I am pleased to introduce my coworker and friend of 14 years, Megan Goodness. I'm going to get choked up, so I apologize. Joining Megan today, Megan is a physical education and adapted physical education teacher, and with her today are her loving husband, Paul, her proud parents, Ed and Kathy Irwin, her amazing sisters, Shannon Gear, Colleen Calabufo, and Carrie Rowland, all of whom have dedicated their lives' work to the children of the Syracuse City School District. Megan is the youngest, and she married her loves of education and sports into a career in physical education. The apple not falling far from the tree, she fell in love with working with children with special needs. and specialized herself in the area of adapted physical education. In that role, she develops ways for children with physical or cognitive limitations to participate in physical education. This might look like a student with a leg deformity playing basketball on a rolling seat on the basketball court rather than being sidelined by her crutches. Or it might look like children with multiple handicaps receiving range of motion on an adapted an air mattress in the gym with their peers rather than being segregated. You might see her in the hallway with a student riding the infamous and highly coveted adapted tricycle. Years ago, it was stolen during a break-in at Hughes, and for months later, kids were talking about seeing it being ridden up and down Salina Street. Megan regularly welcomes students from Cortland, SU, and Krause School of Nursing. In their letters of nomination, professors shared that Megan provides an unparalleled experience for their students, integrating cross-curricular activities, using sound instructional practices, and infectious enthusiasm. Megan's most recent student teacher sums it up when she wrote that Megan is the epitome of a great example for students and fellow educators, and taught her to have passion for what you do, all of which she exudes. Teaching not only physical health, but also wellness has parlayed into a great deal of work outside of the gym. In 2005, Krause Hospital became Community Health Wellness Partners with Hughes, a relationship for which we are eternally grateful. Over the last 10 years, Megan has worked closely with Lisa Kelly, Krause's Community Health Outreach Manager, to coordinate activities such as nutritional cooking programs for families, wellness speakers, hat and mitten drives, and family health screenings, just to mention a few. Krause has been so good to us that they even donated 8 seats from their table to Hughes and Syracuse Latin. So on behalf of our staff and students, thank you. Because she has so much free time on her hands and apparently needs no sleep, Megan also has secured grants for daily fresh fruits and vegetables for our students, which she portions and delivers to classrooms daily. When the selections became too repetitive, she took it upon herself to compare prices and request alternative produce options to continue our students' enthusiasm for their daily snack. She has grants through NFL Play 60, the Jim and Julie Boeheim Foundation, and organizes student fundraisers to practice life skills such as compassion and empathy. Just last week, she donated 8 inches of her hair as a fundraiser to support the St. Baldrick's Foundation and Pantene's Beautiful Lengths. I know that I've gone on for too long and I've just hit the tip of the iceberg, but please join me in welcoming our Energizer Bunny, Megan Goodness.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, this is pretty cool. I might get a little emotional myself. Helen Keller said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." This is how I feel about all the teachers I've worked with. It has always been a team effort. I would like to start off by thanking Emily for an awesome introduction and being the lead person in nominating me for this prestigious award. I would also like to thank all the board members from the Educational Foundation for choosing my nomination. There are so many incredibly hardworking teachers in this district. It must have been such a difficult choice. Next, I'd like to thank Krause Hospital, Terry Haley, Kelly Maynard, and Paula DiGirolamo, my awesome administrators from Hughes, and the Syracuse Latin School for allowing and supporting all of my health and wellness adventures. Hughes has been through many changes, and I've been so fortunate to have such awesome leaders that I see today here too, Mr. Palvino and Iverna Miner. Without your guys' support, I wouldn't have been able to continue this as long as I have. Next, I'd like to thank the Hughes and Syracuse Latin teachers, support staff, and faculty, especially Joe Horan and my special areas team, for giving up their time, being so flexible, and always supporting my health and wellness in our schools. Without your belief in me and my efforts, I would not be standing here now. I'd like to thank my family, my husband, Paul, and my children, Hannah and Jackson, who are playing basketball right now. They are my biggest cheerleaders. Paul and my sisters, Colleen, Shannon, and Carrie, are also educators in the Syracuse City School District. They are my best friends, and I am so lucky to have them in my life. Although I attended Corcoran only for preschool when I was about 4, I feel like I grew up loving this district. My father, Ed Irwin, spent his entire career as a teacher, then administrator, and finally the director of special education here in the Syracuse City Schools. As my sisters and I grew up, our parents really enforced how important education was and what kind of an amazing impact teachers can make on children. We got to see firsthand all the remarkable things he did while advocating for our students with special needs. I think we really just wanted to be just like him. We wanted to educate all children and help all children feel safe, happy, and successful while at school. Finally, thank you, Mom and Dad, even though both of them are retired, for still getting up every day and putting my children on the bus so Paul and I can be at our schools extra early. You both are truly amazing parents. I want to leave you with a quote that influences me to be the best teacher I can be. It pushes me to never settle and motivates me to give 100%. And it's, of course, from Michael Jordan. Some people want it to happen. Some people only wish it to happen. Others make it happen. Have a great day. Thank you again.
Our next presenter is Ed Blaslian, Vice Principal of Henniger High School. He will introduce Colleen Jackson, the Medical Assistant Teacher at Henniger High School. Ed?
Thank you very much, and good morning. I have been proud to be Vice Principal at Henniger, but after this morning's introductions to Mr. Spatafor, Mr. Busquet, I'm extremely proud, and when I go back, I'll let Mr. DeFlorio know the huge shoes he has to fill. So congratulations again. First, I'd like to congratulate on behalf of Henniger High School and Mr. DeFlorio, congratulate all our honorees today, and thank the Educational Foundation for the wonderful support you give to make these things possible for our students. When I was a college and career advisor, one thing I used to always tell my students was it is not important the path you take, but to always keep in mind and keep sight on your goal that you have. Colleen Jackson epitomizes that statement. Along with her hard work, dedication, and perseverance, she's made some great strides over the years. She started as a licensed practical nurse at Syracuse Community Health Center. Over the years there, when she found an opportunity was arising with a partnership being developed with the Community Health Center and the Syracuse City School District, she took that opportunity and joined the Syracuse City School District, starting out as a teaching assistant at Fowler High School. Over those years, she took part in our career ladder program, went back to school. In 2010, she achieved her associate's degree. In 2011, she earned her bachelor's degree in special education. In 2012, her master's degree in career and technical education. During that time, she went from being a TA over at Fowler High School and then transferred over to Henniger High School, where she became a building substitute. The first role she had there was she became a special education long-term sub. And in a conversation she had with Mr. DeFlorio, our principal, one time she said, you need a medical assistant program here at Henniger High School. Henniger has been known for our tradition of a health careers program. She wanted to strengthen that program. His comment was, what is that? The next thing we knew, on a a very snowy, wintry morning at about 4 a.m. The three of us were in his truck heading to a 3-hour trip to Western New York to go and observe students and talk with students and teachers for their medical assisting program to find out exactly what this program was. On our way back, and when we got back, Mr. DeFlorio looked at Ms. Jackson and said, let's do it. That put her on to her next step in developing the wonderful program we have at Henniger now, our medical assistant program. It is a 2-year program. Our students will get trained in both the office medical assistant position and the clinical. In their junior year, they do the office preparatory, and then in the senior year, they do clinical. Ms. Jackson developed this program, developed this curriculum, made connections with area colleges for the students to receive college credit, made connections and partnerships, again, back with the Syracuse Community Health Center and our area hospitals, so that students do rotations. They get an overview of the whole medical process, all the different careers available to them. And in their senior year, we have presently our first class of seniors doing 3 days of internships at the Syracuse Community Health Center. She's developed this program where now we've just put in our application with the state of New York for our CTE endorsement for this program. Our students graduate and finish by taking a national medical exam where they graduate at the end of their 4 years with a licensure for becoming a medical assistant. Many students have to go through a 2-year college program for that. Our students are getting it after their 4 years here at Henniger High School. So she has done a marvelous work in developing this. We've supported her, but she has been the spearhead to this program, and I'm very proud to not only be a colleague, but consider a close friend. I can't say enough. I could go on and on about her, but without further ado, I'd like to introduce, and very proud to introduce our Educator of the Year for Secondary, Ms. Colleen Jackson.
Good morning. I didn't write a speech. My first thanks goes to God. Without him, I wouldn't be here. And then I have to thank my family. My husband, Maurice Jackson, he should be up here getting an award. He supported me, he put up with me, as Mr. Blaslin said, associate's degree in 2010, bachelor's in 2011, master's in 2012, and that was all working full-time. And being a full-time mom, 3 of my daughters are here. I want to thank them for their support. But my biggest thanks goes to my students. 2 of them that have nominated me are here. They're sitting over at table 31. If it wasn't for my students, I wouldn't be here. That's who I'm here for. That's why no speech. I do what I do for them, and that's why I'm here. And thank you to the district for believing in me and allowing me to bring my program. I am shaking like a leaf. I'm out of my element right now. You guys are too old for me to be standing here talking to. Those guys over there, that's who I'm used to talking to. I didn't graduate from any Syracuse City schools. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Scranton Central High School, public school student, but I am proud to be at Henniger. My husband, Mr. Spadafora, you got my husband his job. Thank you. Maurice Jackson back there. My thanks goes to my husband, my family, and just for the wonderful people here. Thank you.
The next recognition will be the Support Staff Award. It will be presented by the principal of Salem High Elementary School, Patricia Floyd Eccles, who will introduce our honoree, Edward Ted Clam, a teaching assistant at Salem High Elementary School.
Good morning for the 20th time. My name is Pat Floyd Eccles, and I'm principal of Salem Hyde. Lots of Salem Hyde students in the house. We appreciate that, both past and present. It is my honor to introduce our Support Staff Educator of the Year. Edward Clam, known to us as Ted, is a teaching assistant at Salem Hyde for 17 years. During his tenure at Salem Hyde, he has worked with special ed students in a one-to-one situation, as well as with the entire class. He is instrumental in facilitating the arrival and dismissal of buses. Thank goodness. Regardless of the weather, our bus students are greeted by Mr. Clam's smiling face each day. His outgoing personality helps students have a great day or reflect on how they can have a better day tomorrow. When not at Salem Hyde, Mr. Clam is involved with the youth in the community. He was the baseball coach for a group of high school boys from all over Central New York. The team went to Texas during the summer of 2011 and was the first team since 1990 to win the Babe Ruth World Series. Locally, he has been the varsity baseball coach at Bishop Ludden for the past 17 years. All summer, he runs baseball camps for children 7 to 11 years old. He is compassionate and understanding of all children of all ages. He is also a devoted husband to Daniela and a hands-on father to Nicholas and Matthew, who are here with us today. As principal of Salem Hyde School, it's my honor to support this nomination. I have worked with Mr. Clam for only the past 3 years. He's one of my go-to guys. You gotta have those go-to guys. Whatever needs to be done around the school, he'll come through the office. Patricia, you need anything? Patricia, you're not smiling. Why aren't you smiling? Patricia, we're gonna have a great day. He's the only staff member that calls me Patricia and gets away with it. This includes being my go-to guy. He dressed up as Clifford the Big Red Dog on one of the hottest days of the year for a district celebration. I did let him go home and shower afterwards. He is also dressed up as our school mascot, Pridey the Lion, whenever we need Pridey to show up at an assembly. He continues to reach out to students at Salem Hyde. Students often seek out Mr. Clam to help problem-solve situations. His outgoing spirit is an asset to the Salem Hyde community. I not only consider him a great educator, but I am proud to call him my friend. Congratulations, Ted.
Thank you. I'd first like to thank Mike Hennessy and Pat for nominating me for this award. Also, I know a lot of us in society cannot always say that we go to work and not only like it, but we love our boss. And our boss, Patricia, is just wonderful. She's great to deal with, and not only is she a great boss, she's even a better person. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that when I received this award, I laughed because I'm not even the best educator in my house. That honor goes to my wife, Daniela Clam, who is an excellent, excellent teacher. Or in my classroom, that honor goes to Tamara Felicia, who I learn a lot from. Thank you.
Congratulations once again to all of our awardees.
Well, I'm sorry, George. The next recognition will be for the Administrator Award. It will be presented by Nate Franz, the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning, and the honoree is Patricia Clark, Executive Director of the Scsd Office of Student Support Services. She is also known around the office as our Patty. Mr. Franz.
It's a privilege to introduce Patty Clark as the Educational Foundation's Administrator of the Year. Patty Clark supervises the Office of Student Support Services, which provides a comprehensive and integrated system of support to meet the needs, social, emotional, academic needs of all of our students. Her department is home to special education, alternative school programs, school counselors, school psychologists, and social workers, all serving students in all grades and schools in the Scsd. Patty provides leadership and guidance over a range of services that impact students and families and assist in strengthening relationships with community agencies, families, and school personnel. Her nomination was completed actually by several members of the Teaching and Learning Department who I'm representing here today and who have worked with Patty in a variety of different capacities. It didn't matter if the comments were coming from someone who served as a fellow building administrator, a current colleague at central office, or a former teacher from Danforth. Each mentioned Patty's work ethic, her commitment to the community, and respect of others, particularly the students we are all privileged to serve. This year, Patty's needed all three: hard work, commitment to community, and respect for others to spearhead SCSD's move to a more restorative approach in our schools. Patty has pushed us all to do better, to rethink and rework our beliefs, to find meaningful alternatives to punitive approaches, to take time to listen, to really listen to each other, and most importantly, to trust and presume competence in everyone. Thank you, Patty, for your leadership and focus on building genuine communities of learning in our schools. And congratulations.
Thank you so much. Ted, when I found out that I was receiving this award, I actually started to cry, and I don't usually get so emotional. Having to spend 14 years at Danforth made me pretty strong. I really want to thank Nate for the introduction. I want to tell my colleagues how humbled and honored I am for their nomination, and the Educational Foundation for the selection of this very meaningful and important award. Over the years, I have felt like my students and their families and my colleagues have become my extended family, and I want to thank my family for being here to support me today, and my friends to support me today. But over the years, I've felt like all of my students' family and my colleagues have become my extended family, and together we've done that work in supporting our students in their success in education. And I want to thank the superintendent for my new position in supporting all 22,000 students in the district, and my extended family has increased significantly in the past several months. So I really appreciate this award. I thank you so much, and it's very, very meaningful to me. Thanks again.
And we'll have one more video for you to take a look at.
Hello, my name is Marie Cook, and I'm the music teacher here at Hughes Elementary School. I applied for and was funded for a grant from the Educational Foundation called Sing and Say and Dance and Play. And the foundation funded purchase for us of 12 Orff-style instruments, xylophones, metallophones, and glockenspiels, which the students are using in a series of folk tales that they are going to perform for the school. What you will see the students doing today is probably playing some of the instruments and also singing along, possibly adding a little dance and narration to the story. And the approach that is furthered by Carl Orff, who invented the instruments, is playful and involves creativity, children creating, as well as learning music that is already composed, and playful in that the kids are supposed to have a lot of fun while they do it. We are so grateful here at Hughes School for the funding of our instruments. We plan to enjoy them for many, many years to come. Thank you so much for your support of our music program.
Hi, I'm Maureen Sweeney from Westside Academy at Blodgett. I am a 6th grade science teacher, and my grant was Westside Science Sleuths. Students pose questions that they come up with in their life and in their world, from where's the coldest drinking fountain at WSI, to is our auditorium haunted, to what is the classroom air pollution rate. They then decide if their hypothesis is testable, write a procedure, and come up with how they're going to prove or disprove their theories. And the excitement that they have for science due to this project is absolutely phenomenal. I'd like to thank the Educational Foundation for the 10 iPads and for giving my students the love of science. Every question they have starts with, I wonder.
Wow, what a great morning it was. One more, give yourselves a hand. You've been a great audience today. As Nick Aversa comes to give us a benediction to send you home, I do want to remind you that there's a centerpiece fund in the red boxes. Did I remind you that there was that centerpiece fund? Yeah. So please, if you can, make a small donation to support the arts programs. One more time, we want to thank the Henniger High School Jazz Combo. They'll be coming to send you home as well. And also for the remainder of the exhibits that are in the lobby, we invite you to see them as well. And now Nick will give us some final encouragement.
Amen. Have we enjoyed this day? Let's give everyone a big round of applause. Hopefully we're all motivated to go back to our several schools and destinations and inspire a child to learn. Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling and present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy, to the only wise God our Savior be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and ever. Amen.
Amen, amen, and thank you all for your support.